Welcome to Stampscaping 101. This is an almost full-page scene using some art foamy versions of the Stampscape stamps with the two sizes of tree trunks. Tree trunk trio here, creating a forest. And we're adding in the just rubber version of the sedge filler here to fill in that forest floor. And that's what we're going to build our kind of bluebell carpeted forest floor area in there. One of the things I want you to notice at this point in time with these dye-based inks is it kind of looks a little bit muddy in there, okay? The dye-based inks are putting back into solution some of the black ink that I stamped out my imagery in, but also want you to know that's not a problem here. What we're going to do is we're going to build up a lot of different textures with a lot of different media on here, so it doesn't immediately look good at all. If anything, it looks really terrible at this point in time. But this is just to kind of set a foundation for what we're going to be building on here as far as media, textures, intensities, contrasts, etc. Okay, that was it with the dye-based inks. Now I'm going into it with some colored pencils. Here we're adding some brightness with the alcohol inks, and I do a lot of blending out of these applications here. Here we're adding in a lot of intensity and brightness with the pink and violet tones right into that carpeted forest floor. Working through different tones. Here's a warm kind of beige color. And now I'm trying to something a little bit different here with a little bit of texturing here. I want to create kind of a carpeted area down there with a lot of textures. And we're adding a little bit of more contrast in there. And now we're going into kind of some crisper textures with our paint pens here. And I'm working it through a lot of different colors and values. Okay, so you can see those paint pens over there to the right of me. Working through a lot of different kind of colors within the same color scheme. Violets and some blues. Here, the white is adding some highlights into the piece. Okay, now we're following up here with some white pigment ink. It gets really busy down there with all those little colored dots, okay? And I wanted it to look somewhat, kind of impressionistic with those, but it's a little bit too much, so this white pigment ink really kind of mellows things out. It looks a little bit more misty and magical that way, but it also kind of mutes some of the heavy, kind of textural volumes of the piece. It just, I don't know, it solves all my problems a lot of times. Okay, adding in some foreground with some StazOn ink. I needed something that's going to adhere to those colored pencils, so StazOn does the trick, and it also looks very dimensional. StazOn kind of dries, kind of shiny looking. Adding in a little focal point. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but I thought it needed something back there in the distance to create a visual landing spot. So we have our elk back there, and I'm adding a little bit of mist at the base of the elk, just to kind of finish off the piece. You can see all those little tiny little dots. It's almost like pointillism or something like that. Very busy, but you know, that's kind of looking at it very closely, and this is what it looks like at arm's view. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching.